Have you ever wondered how the course of human history might have changed if Israel, a small yet influential nation, did not exist? A question that prompts us to delve into the genesis of Israel, a land that has been a cradle of civilization, faith, and conflict for millennia. Our story begins thousands of years ago, during the era of the patriarchs, when Abraham, revered by Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike, is believed to have forged a covenant with God. The land of Canaan, as it was then known, was promised to Abraham's descendants, setting the stage for the birth of a nation. Fast forward a few centuries to the era of the Israelite kingdoms. Mighty rulers like King David and his son Solomon left their indelible marks on the land, with Jerusalem emerging as a spiritual and political center. These were the times of prophets and poetry, of wisdom and warfare, a period that deeply influenced the cultural and religious identity of the people of Israel. But as history teaches us, empires rise and fall. The Israelite kingdom succumbed to the expansive powers of their time. Babylonian, Persian, Greek, and ultimately Roman rule swept over the land. The iconic Second Temple in Jerusalem, a cornerstone of Jewish faith and identity, was destroyed by the Romans in the 1st century CE, marking the onset of the Jewish diaspora. The people of Israel were scattered across the globe, their connection to their homeland maintained through tradition, faith, and a deep-seated yearning for return. Yet amidst the ruins and the dispersion, the spirit of Israel remained unbroken. The Jewish people, though scattered, kept alive the memories, traditions, and language of their homeland, nurturing a hope that would kindle the flame of their return in the centuries to come. From a land promised to Abraham to a dispersed people yearning for home, Israel's story was only beginning. This small land with a grand history was poised to re-emerge on the world stage, shaping the course of human events in ways that were unimaginable during its genesis. So let's continue our journey through the annals of Israel's past, as we uncover the layers of its fascinating history. The Middle Ages saw Israel under the rule of various empires, but what impact did these have on the nation's identity? From the 11th to the 13th centuries, the Crusaders controlled Jerusalem and its surrounding territories, leaving a lasting architectural legacy still visible today. Following the Crusaders, Islamic rule under the Mamluks and later the Ottomans, from the 14th to the early 20th centuries, brought a new wave of cultural and religious influences. The Ottoman period in particular was a time of significant development and modernization, with new infrastructure and institutions that shaped the region's urban landscape. This era also saw an influx of Jewish immigrants, adding another layer to the rich tapestry of cultures and faiths in Israel. Throughout these periods, the land that is now Israel absorbed a myriad of influences, from architectural styles to culinary traditions. Centuries of diverse rule created a melting pot of cultures and religions that still characterizes Israel today. How did the dream of a Jewish homeland finally become reality in the 20th century? It was a journey marked by hope, persistence, and fraught with conflict, a narrative deeply intertwined with the global events of the time. The Zionist movement, born in the late 19th century, was a key driver of this dream. Jews from around the world, inspired by the vision of Theodor Herzl, a Hungarian Jewish journalist and author, sought to establish a Jewish homeland in the historical land of Israel, known then as Palestine. This was not simply a reaction to anti-Semitism, but a desire to self-determine and create a nation where Jewish identity, culture, and religion could flourish. The path to statehood took a decisive turn in 1917, during the throes of the First World War, with the Balfour Declaration. This was a public statement issued by the British government, expressing support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. It was a pivotal moment, the first significant international recognition of the Zionist movement. Following the war, Britain took control of Palestine under a League of Nations mandate. The British Mandate period from 1920 to 1948 was a time of significant Jewish immigration and growing tensions between Jewish and Arab communities. It was a complex era, marked by political maneuvering, civil unrest, and violence. The horrors of the Second World War and the Holocaust only intensified the urgency for a Jewish state. The plight of Jewish refugees brought global attention to the Zionist cause. In November 1947, the United Nations voted for the partition of Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states, a plan rejected by the Arab nations. On May 14, 1948, as the British Mandate came to an end, David Ben-Gurion, the head of the Jewish Agency, declared the establishment of the State of Israel. Almost immediately, neighboring Arab states launched an attack, marking the start of the Arab-Israeli War. Against the backdrop of global conflict and regional tensions, a new nation was born. This marked the birth of modern Israel, a dream realized, but a journey far from over. In a region often marred by conflict, how has Israel navigated its relationships with its neighbors? From its inception, Israel has often found itself at the epicenter of geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. The Arab-Israeli conflict, a series of wars and political standoffs, has been a defining feature of the region's history since the mid-20th century. This conflict, deeply rooted in competing nationalisms and territorial disputes, has shaped Israel's relationships with its neighbors. In the aftermath of the Six-Day War in the late 1960s, Israel found itself in control of significant territories, including the West Bank, Gaza Strip, Sinai Peninsula, and Golan Heights. These territorial acquisitions further heightened tensions, sparking decades-long debates on their status and the rights of the people living there. Despite these challenges, Israel has also demonstrated a capacity for diplomacy and peace-building. This is perhaps most evident in its relationships with Egypt and Jordan. The Camp David Accords, signed in 1978, marked a significant turning point, as Egypt became the first Arab nation to officially recognize Israel. This was followed by the Israel-Jordan Treaty of Peace in 1994, further cementing Israel's diplomatic ties in the region. Yet, the issue that has perhaps drawn the most international attention is the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict. This dispute, centered around questions of nationhood, borders, and the status of Jerusalem, has proved to be one of the world's most enduring and complex conflicts. Multiple attempts at peace negotiations have been made, but a comprehensive resolution remains elusive. Israel's strategic geopolitical position in the Middle East, coupled with its economic prowess and military strength, has allowed it to navigate this complex landscape with a degree of resilience. However, its relationships in the region are continually evolving, influenced by changing political climates, alliances, and global influences. In the heart of the Middle East, Israel's story continues to unfold. As we move forward, the world watches to see how Israel will continue to navigate its path amidst these intricate dynamics, forever shaping its role and identity in the Middle East. With a history as complex as its landscape, where does Israel stand today and what does the future hold? Israel today is a vibrant tapestry, woven with threads of resilience, diversity, and innovation. This small nation, steeped in antiquity, has made impressive strides in the modern world. Known as the Startup Nation, it is a global hub for technology, a pioneer in fields such as cybersecurity, agriculture, and renewable energy. Israeli inventiveness is not confined to the tech sector alone. In the realm of medicine, the nation's contributions are equally groundbreaking, with advancements that have global impacts. But the vitality of Israel is not confined to laboratories and startup incubators. It pulses in the bustling markets of Jerusalem, the cosmopolitan streets of Tel Aviv, and in the kitchens where Israeli cuisine, a delectable fusion of Middle Eastern, Mediterranean, and North African influences, is cooked up. Israel is a nation of many faces, a mosaic of cultures and communities. From Jewish to Arab, Druze to Bedouin, each community adds a unique hue to the country's multicultural fabric. This diversity is celebrated in vibrant festivals and cultural events that echo with the rhythms of coexistence and reconciliation. Yet, the journey is not without its challenges. Israel grapples with complex issues, both internal and external. The ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, socioeconomic disparities, and the delicate balance of maintaining a democratic and Jewish state are but a few of the obstacles that the nation faces. Despite these challenges, there is a palpable sense of hope. Hope for a peaceful resolution to conflicts, for a society where diversity is not just tolerated but celebrated, for a future that honors its rich past while boldly embracing progress. This hope, this resilience, this indefatigable spirit is perhaps the most defining characteristic of Israel. It echoes in the ancient stones of Jerusalem, It hums in the bustling tech parks of Tel Aviv, it whispers in the tranquil desert landscapes of the Negev, and it resonates within the hearts of its people. From ancient roots to a dynamic present, Israel's history is a testament to the enduring spirit of its people. In just 10 minutes, we've traversed thousands of years of history. But what are the key takeaways from Israel's story? From its genesis, Israel has been a land of profound historical and religious significance, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. We journeyed through the Middle Ages and Ottoman rule, witnessing the ebb and flow of power and the enduring influence of diverse cultures. The birth of modern Israel opened a new chapter, one marked by conflict but also by remarkable progress and innovation. Today, Israel stands as a beacon of technological advancement and cultural diversity within the Middle East, its future promising even greater strides. The story of Israel is a rich tapestry of faith, struggle, triumph, and continuous transformation. It's a narrative that transcends borders, resonating with people across the world, inviting us all to reflect on our shared human experience. As we close the book on this brief journey through Israel's history, remember that every nation's story is a tapestry woven from countless threads of human experience.